But we'll try to get you some help.
Well, just keep in mind that once you guys get a budget, I hope that's soon, we need some improvements over there. We hope you'll look at trying to find us some grant money, something to help keep it up because it's in rough shape. It's not been kept up the way it should have been. And I'm not throwing blame at anybody. I know the budgets have been bad and stuff like that, but if we're gonna keep it, if the state comes in and it's not up to par, then we'll end up losing it, and we don't want that. We filed that state grant agreeing that we would take care of a county shelter. It would be the county's responsibility. We agreed that the volunteers would do their part, and so far I think that they have. We just need some help here.
I think you're right.
And aren't we working on a small grant,
It's spay and neuter.
spay and neuter grant?
But I'll look about some other grants. There's usually grants through the state.
Yeah.
I'll call and see what's out there.
I was watching the news this afternoon, and they were talking on in Lexington about the influx of cats and how you have lots of kittens at this time of year. And they were talking about some PetSmarts grants. So we probably need to look into that and see. So if we need the information that you've got, Linda, if we decide to file those, or would you be willing to help us file for other grants?
Sure.
That was going to be my question was, can we take this on to do grants, or does it have to go through you?
We would be the pass-through. If you all want to do the applications, that would be fine, and use the
And just see what's
fiscal
out
court
there.
as a pass-through, right?
Okay.
I think since it is a county shelter, we have to name the
Right.
owner basically as the county shelter, and it has to go through there.
Right.
Anybody could write the grants as long as
Right.
the county basically
Right,
signs
well,
off
that's what I
on
mean.
it. Yeah.
We could go ahead and get the ball rolling with it and get, a lot of the paperwork done,
Right.
if that would be a help.
It would, yes.
Next item on the agenda is John Will Stacy is supposed to be here about an industrial park discussion. Does anybody know anything about John?
Yeah, or go ahead, Dennis.
Yeah, go ahead.
Talk about that land that they're willing to give the county up there for economic development and all that stuff. It don't cost the county anything, everything, whoever moves in, it'll bring in economic development. All the county's gotta do is more or less accept the free land and get it put on the state website as economic development.
Mr. Holbrook, we may ask your services to see what needs to be done, look into it, and on both sides of the coin.
Be glad to.
And it don't sound like there'd be anything wrong with it, but we need to know that it's all right. And you look at it and see.
We've got people, interested in that land. And this has been going on for a while. I'm gonna make the motion to go ahead and take it.
I'll second the motion.
'Cause it's been going on for 8 or 9 months, we got people interested in it.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing for us to do is get an opinion from our county attorney.
Well, the
First of all-
contract itself would need to be reviewed.
Yeah, to see if
I think he did once, and he had some suggestions. Didn't you review that and say something?
Make the motion.
I did, but as far, if somebody's gonna give us something for free, we can always decide what to do later if it, wasn't in one county's, if it didn't help us, but, if somebody's gonna give us something for free, I don't see how that could really hurt us, no matter what we did with it. So, I don't see any problem with it itself, as far as if it's free or anything like that. I just don't see any problem with it legally.
I guess you just need to write a deed, don't you, or something?
They'd sign it over. Yeah, it's basically just signed over what it was up there. If it was a separate part of, if the deed itself was, he's giving us half or something, yeah, we would have to write a description. But if it's all one piece, he's giving it to us, and basically it's just signing it over.
Will we use the same access road to do to the prison?
Same
Same road? Do you have to alter?
We won't have to do a thing. Whoever gets the property will be responsible.
As far as utilities and everything.
Utilities and all,
They supply that too?
Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be all right if it's like, it's what it says it is.
Might give us a bunch of money, I'll go to take it.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Usually there's a catch to it. There's not very many free rides in this world anymore, are there?
So you made the motion?
Got a motion, got a second?
All right, who made it?
I did.
You made it, you seconded?
Anthony
Adam
seconded.
seconded. All in favor? All right. We'll proceed on with free property then. The next thing on the list was Amber Stamper has worked over there at the animal shelter for 5 years or longer. She'd asked to be a part-time employee and work about 20 hours a week, mainly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And she'd like to be reemployed. She has been there for some time, being paid by CK and Vicky. I think that's correct, isn't it? Didn't she pay the Stamper girl?
That's correct.
That's correct, I think. We wasn't paying her, they were paying her, the Stamper girl, for working over there.
I think so.
Yeah, I've not
You
seen
might
it,
have to- I think that she worked for them.
they were paying her out of their
Yeah,
pocket,
I
I
think
think.
so.
Well, I
Yeah.
know the county was.
I know one time they paid her.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we hire part-time for about 20 hours a weekend, and she's already got the time. She's been there 5 years and knows what she's done.
I'll second that motion.
And Brandon's the second. All in favor?
20
Opposed,
hours
like
a
that.
week.
Yeah, no more than 20 hours a week.
What's the pay?
Yeah, what's the pay rate?
Minimum pay, whatever minimum rate is.
725?
Is it 725 or is it 8?
That's what it is.
Okay.
725,
She said
20
she
hours
was,
a week.
uh,
Beginning when?
I guess probably first of the month.
1st of July?
Yeah.
It'll be, get that done.
She might be able to start before then, I don't know, but I'll contact her and see what she says.
So do you want to make the motion for her to say that she's able to start then?
Yeah, just make, amend that motion to whenever she's able to start, we'll start.
Would she be able to take Amos's place and?
No, she couldn't.
For the month of June? I mean, he
Uh,
didn't get that salary, so it's,
I
should be
don't-
open.
I don't think that she wants to work that many hours, Anthony. She's a student
Oh, okay.
and goes to school part-time and probably will go more so later on down the fall. I understand that if we can have a first reading on our budget and submit it to the DLG, that we don't have to have the occupational ordinance in there to get this first reading, and send it to them, let them examine it. Now, I don't know where any of y'all have talked to them about that or not, but that's what they,
That's what I told you last
that's what they-
month, was that, or when I.
well, they
met
didn't
with them-
confirm it till we talked, made in here
Yeah, they told me.
Friday, or when it
that-
was.
Okay.
So, do I hear a motion that we do have the first reading and submit it to them?
Will it, when they examine it and it comes back, will it pass without the payroll tax? Increase?
I don't know if it will or not, if we're passed then or not, but we'll have, at least we've got it there and got it to them, they got the approval of it and it comes back.
I'll make the motion without the payroll tax.
Without adopting the ordinance for the payroll tax? Okay.
I'll second that motion, without the payroll tax and the ordinance.
You mean the payroll tax increase is in the budget?
And then I
He
take
said
my
without.
motion back.
No, without the ordinance,
Go
we
to-
don't have to do the ordinance to adjust it, but the numbers are.
The budget won't pass without the payroll tax increase.
Well, I mean,
You
Frankfurt
said it down there, if they
said,
approve it and send it back, then you're gonna have to increase the payroll tax for the budget to pass. When you send it
well, they
back for the
said that it
second
then
reading.
becomes the fiscal court's budget, and you all can change it all you want to. That's what they said. I mean, I don't, they just said if we had the first
Yeah,
reading,
that's what they told me.
they could
Make-
approve the first reading and send it back. You all could make changes, we could do those changes, send it back after you do the second reading, and that's the adopted budget. This first reading is not an adopted budget.
I understand that.
Oh, okay.
So where does that leave us?
I don't know.
Well, I made the motion without the payroll.
Yeah.
tax.
I
Well,
mean, we don't have a balanced budget without the payroll tax. I mean, we presented a balanced budget, and they said that we can send that to Frankfurt for the first reading. Then when it comes back, you all can do whatever you want to do. If you can
But
balance
add
it with
to it
the
or-
425, then you can balance it, and that's fine.
add to it or take away or whatever.
You all can take it out. It's not there for good, especially if you don't do the first, even the first reading of the occupational tax ordinance does not make it effective. But they said you do not have to have the first reading of the ordinance to raise it, to include it in the proposed budget. But then you all could, it could come back then. We've met our obligation to get it started. And then they would approve the first reading, send it back, and then you all can take it down to 425, not do the occupational tax and budget it however you have to just do the 425. Which 425 is what I'm saying, it is estimated to be without the raise. It's estimated to be $1,062,000 or so with the raise. So if you can budget it with doing that after it comes back, that's fine. They said you can do that. But we don't even start the process if we don't get a first reading sent to them.
Any more discussion?
Can you send it without the payroll tax?
It won't go without it.
We can't balance it.
Well, you can send it
It won't
down
bump.
there. You can send it down there, and if it don't go, then we'll have to send another budget down there. That's what we're trying to get to.
We'll have to rework it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
do it
they said
again.
that you can rework it all you want to after the first
If
reading.
we can get it to pass, if we get the budget to balance.
I say, we'll just send it without the payroll tax, the way I understand it. If it don't pass.
It's not balanced.
They'll send it back, and then we can work on the budget, like.
They told me that down at the bottom of the budget, we could make a notation saying that the occupational tax that's included in the budget has not been passed by the fiscal court. And that would be
That's the way I
good.
understand it.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm saying, if I take that 425, if I change that to 425, it's not in balance, and we can't send an
No, I'm
unbalanced
saying you
budget.
can go ahead and leave it in the budget you have, but down at the bottom of that, make a note that the
Oh, okay, that's
occupational
what you wanna
tax
do,
is
yeah.
included,
Yeah.
but it has not been passed by the fiscal court. That's what they told me. They said.
Oh, you want us to, we can leave the number in and leave it balanced.
Yeah,
You
and
want us
down
to
at the
say-
bottom of it, you make a notation saying that the fiscal court had not passed the occupational tax increase. And that's the
Okay, yeah,
words they
I'll
told
make
me.
that work.
And I said, okay, that
Okay.
sounds good to me.
We can do that. As long as we can leave the numbers in there and leave it balanced, that's fine with me. I'll
You
put
just
that
make a
down.
note saying that it had not been passed by the fiscal court. First reading is just to
Yeah,
get things
yes.
started.
Yeah, okay.
All
I
right,
think that'll work.
that, what you wanna do? Your motion will do that?
Yeah, that
All right,
clears it up.
okay. Who made the motion? You make it then? Who seconded?
I did.
All right. All in
The
favor?
notation behind the budget.
Okay,
May,
all right.
All opposed, Stanley?
Yeah, excuse me.
May.
Oh,
Nay,
sorry.
you named, I didn't get that, Stanley.
Well, Stanley, it'll come back to, then it'll be our budget
Yeah, it
for
becomes
us
a
to
fiscal
do
court.
as
Yeah.
we see fit. That's what Robert told me. Said you don't have to worry about it. It's
Move
it's
that
not a
up to the
budget.
bottom.
And then you can still make the motion for the ordinance if they don't want to post it, or whatever you want to do.
At that time.
Well, I mean, you can do it now, but
Yeah.
it won't balance it.
Well, I'll make the motion that we do go ahead and, pass the budget with a 1%,
No, the occupational
Around
license
the-
ordinance amendment.
okay, number 6. And do I hear any, second to that motion? Hearing none, it'll die because of lack of action. Okay, move on to item number 7, the health insurance agreement. We got something on that somewhere.
Yeah, I gave everyone a copy of the new rates. We had a 5.49% in rate increase. which raised it $1,777.60 a month. So I gave everyone a copy of it.
Okay, we need a motion on that.
Yeah.
Everybody find this on the anthem sheet in their book? Do I hear a motion that we do this rate increase?
I'll make that motion.
Anthony made the motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, John second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, we're gonna do this bid,
Good opening.
we got to,
I gave
Take some
everyone a
bids.
tabulation sheet if you want to write down. We had 2 bids.
The list of roads that we turned in last year for last year's blacktop, when are they going to do that list?
I don't know. They were supposed to start it this spring, but
Because I've got 2 or 3 roads that are in bad shape where they had to put steel in the roads. And I just wondered,
it was my understanding it was supposed to be started when the plant opened. But I haven't heard
do
anything
you
from
still
them.
have that list? I mean,
looks like we've got 2 bids, one from Hinkle and one from Stanford Builders. And these have not been opened. Y'all are coming and telling them they have not been opened, Eddie Granger. So I'm opening them right now. Maybe I open it.
Stanley, that was on TV, I need you to change it.
Go to commercial.
Okay, you see, the first one I have here is Stanford Builders, looks like. And is that $95
Materials and labor to
Yeah.
lay asphalt per ton, yeah. Includes milling and transitions.
Material and labor to lay asphalt per ton is $95, submitted by Stanford Builders, and that includes milling and transitions. A transistor or transition?
Transition, yeah.
Ron, what's that mean?
Yeah.
I guess where they tie them back together, where they mill them back in. I don't know. I don't do no blacktop.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm assuming it is, but they transition back together with existing. I don't know. Sounds good anyway.
Yeah, sounds good.
Nobody else knows. So we
This-
don't know.
Now with it, John.
This second one here is submitted by Hinkle.
Okay. Okay.
Like they've broken it down in 2 phases. Asphalt base is $71 per ton, asphalt binder is $71.50, and asphalt surface is $72.50. Then the materials that's going to be installed on various roads around over the county, the base, that's your first coat, ain't it, your base, $84.95. The binder's $86, and the surface is $87.50.
How do they know how much we pay a
Well,
ton?
Depends on if you want binder, if you want surface on the road or what.
That's per ton.
That's per ton, that price is
Yeah.
per ton.
Oh,
All
okay.
the prices are less than the 95, so.
Okay.
It would appear that Hinkle has the cheapest bid, but I didn't read the specs on it, and I don't know where this is, maybe you all already know if it's to be base, binder, or surface,
It's got a bid on each individual.
each one, yes.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But now if they put, what I'm getting at, if they have to put down base and then put surface on top of it, do we pay both prices?
It's still by the ton.
It's still by the
Yeah.
ton.
Yeah, you pay one.
You know what I'm saying? You would put so many ton of that on,
And
and
that,
put that on top
yeah.
of it. About the only thing we really put was base, I think, or surface, I don't know.
It would appear to me that at any rate, any way you go at it, that Hinkle would have the cheapest rate. I'll look at it.
So I'm gonna look at this.
Now, is that including,
That's including them installing it, and that's, if we go pick it up to do anything with it, that's what we pay from the plant. And if they install it, that's the price.
There's that, one look at it.
That was actually, that's Stanley's paper.
okay, you keep it. The reason I was questioning that, we got one bid,
Well,
was
this is
they had
95.
base, and then they had tackle, and they had binder, and all that.
4,500.
It was all separate.
There's that, we're gonna see it then.
Oh, let me see this. Well, it would appear to me that any way you go at it, that Hinkle's got the lowest bid on it all. So do I hear a motion that we accept Hinkle's bid and award the blacktopping to them?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, made by John, seconded Brandon, and all in favor? Aye. All right. So we will notify them that they have got their bid.
Better hear about now.
Yeah, I see them back there. I think that's what it is. The next item is a little bit of a rate change on the transfer station. If you all got this packet here in front of you that's went up just a little bit. The kitchen size bags went up 50 cents a bag. Large bags up 50 cents, that's from 50 cents to $1 and $1 to $1.50. And the, for 100-pound bags from $1.95 to $2.25. Small appliances, 50 cents from $3 to $3.50. Large appliances stayed the same at $5. Cars, the truck tires, small, stays at $2. Large truck tires goes up 25 cents. And the per ton for our garbage goes up $1 from $39 to $40. I think this price that is in effect right now was founded in 2007. And we all know that the cost of everything has gone up since then. It's my recommendation that we raise it to 50 cents like it's been planned, the proposal. So do I hear a motion?
I don't have a copy of that, I don't think.
You know, the only negative thing about that is if we don't watch, we'll get it high and people will start illegal dumping again, just dumping trash.
Well, I
hope that doesn't.
I don't think that's going to have anything to do with that, but the smaller, we kept it down low all along, and the 50 cents is not very much of an increase. The $1 per ton goes from $39 to $40. That's very little. I would say if you ran a survey of all the other places around that were the lowest receiving anything like that.
That price per bag, will have to be a 50% increase on that.
Well, I know, but it's only 50 cents to start with.
It's like 50% increase, you know.
We're losing money there. It's gonna hurt our general fund because we've been told now that we have to have all that cost in the general fund. So,
This is the first year they ever done that,
well,
but that cost in the general fund.
yes, the salaries were never there, but DOD said they have to be. Whenever we made the suggestion to move their revenues over to the general fund, remember when we were talking about that during the budget situation? Yeah, so everything has to be budgeted for the transfer fund and the general fund, transfer station. And so that would, if we can at least break even, at least, you know, if we get at least charged enough to break even and still provide the service at a reasonable price, that would be.
We're losing money right now.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah. I figure we
Does the road fund get reimbursed for the equipment and stuff that they use?
Do we use road fund equipment?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the, like the backhoe that we bashed down with? I don't know whether
All
that's,
that, garbage truck, it's through the road. fund.
Yep.
All that
Yeah, all
through
of
the
it's
road
through
fund.
road fund
Everybody's
now,
equipment's through the road
and it's
fund.
gonna have to be switched over to the general
Well,
fund.
see, you know, we bought a Mack truck and it's still in the road fund and we're gonna hopefully pay it back in the road fund or we will be in trouble. Because whenever we buy those Mack trucks and they're for solid waste, we can't use road fund money for them anymore. So that's gonna be a problem. I mean, I can look into, if we use road fund
It
equipment.
don't matter, I can find out, I was just wondering if I didn't know how, I know we use all the road equipment for the transfer station, you know. and it
Yeah, that may not be permitted, to be honest with
don't
you.
make a whole lot of sense that, you know.
I mean, it may not be permitted because road equipment is restricted to road purposes only because it was bought with road fund money. So if you're gonna say that, then we might not be able to use that, we would have to buy other equipment. And that would really cause us problems because we can't afford it in the general fund.
I would just have to pay the rent or something, we do something.
But I do believe that a little bit of an increase in the rate could help offset some of that cost.
it's not a great big amount, but yeah, I believe it'll help, but I recommend that we raise it that much. And
Need a motion?
do I hear a motion that we raise what has been suggested here on the proposal for the transfer station chart, rates?
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Brandon made it and John seconded it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign.
Nay.
Nay,
2 nays and 4 fours.
Wait, no,
Three and
days.
three. 3 and 3.
How many nays do we have?
3.
3 and 3.
3. All right. In that case,
then do I break the tie?
If you,
No, it
No.
doesn't.
if you lower that,
All right.
that bag price, that's 50% increase, that's too much, you know.
Yeah, but it's just 50 cents to start with.
I can't help it.
Well, how much
That's
you
still
want it to be?
50%, that's still 50%.
75.
75 cents.
75 cents?
It'd be better than a dollar. I do know a roadside cleaner right now, they never have been.
Depends on where you look, boys.
And the stream and stuff, you know.
But I mean, would you be okay with it at 75 cents then for the small bags?
I had to help, yes. See if somebody ordered, but
Yeah.
that might not make a lot of difference to some people, but I hate to see them set it on, you know, side of the road up there or somewhere, you know.
Usually when it's alongside a road like that, it gets tore open and gets scattered again all over the place.
Yeah.
All right then, let's see, if we drop that down to the kitchen size bags, 75 cents, do I hear a motion that we accept it that way? I make a motion we do it. Do I hear anybody else make a motion we do?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Uh,
All right.
Hey,
Give them
One-
a chance to oppose.
One day. Let's see, if we got the Ezel Park in
Yeah,
here.
go ahead and bring it up. There was no change in that.
You know, we talked about the Ezel Park last week, and we was, or last time we met, and we was questioning the insurance on it, I think, weren't we? As to who was to pay that,
And the cost.
and, yeah,
So it would be no additional cost.
it's just like it is the last time we talked about it, so no change, so.
I actually was supposed to check on to see if it would cost, what the cost would be, and I have an email from our insurance agent, and she said that there would be no additional cost.
But we would be covered.
We would be covered, yes.
As long as we stay within the guidelines when it's to be used by the
Well,
public.
they don't care about that. That would be between
Us and-
you all and
Us in the school?
Us
and
in school.
school,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, right now, I mean, people can use it from, whenever.
Till school
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah, until school starts back, then they have to wait till after school
After school.
hours. Yeah. So I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay,
I'll second that.
motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Okay, I think there was a seat that is on the airport board. Alan Oldfield's name came up, was supposed to be reappointed to that board. He had served previously. I made the motion that we keep Alan on there,
second.
and, okay. All in favor?
He owes me an airplane ride.
Now, let's see. The administrative code review, that in here somewhere?
We just have to bring that up for review every year in June. If any changes are suggested or whatever, we can work on that and get it done next month, is my understanding.
Okay.
So just, if anybody has any proposed changes.
Anything needs to be brought up about the administrative code that you know of? All right.
We just have to have it recorded that we have brought it in
Brought it
front of
up.
the court for review.
All right, item number 13, is that,
Came to my attention, or to our office's attention this week, that evidently there has been some sort of an agreement in the past few years for rock costs without advertising, without bidding. And we, by law, are supposed to bid that, and we have not done that for a while. Also, culvert pipe is supposed to be advertised for bid. So, in order to get this done and passed before July 1st, we need to get it advertised next week. And then try to have a special meeting like the 30th, if you all are acceptable with that. By law, we're supposed to always bid that every year. And we have not been doing that, so we wanted to get that straightened out.
Well, we better do what we're supposed to do if we can. Is there any objections to that?
I'll put an ad in the paper next week then.
All right.
I need to add two things to the other business. We have Donnie,
I was gonna do that a little bit, go ahead.
Donnie Keaton back there wants to address the court. And then also, the registration for next week's PD, we are registered to go, right?
I haven't registered anyone.
I mean, we only have, what, 4 days? Is there, I mean, what's the reason for it?
We don't have any money,
If
basically.
you go, you're going to have to go on your own. And I don't know how much that's going to cost or anything, but
Kind of puzzled about that because it was in the budget. I mean, did we deplete all of that fund?
I'm sure we have.
I think what
We
was there,
attended everything that we could all
Well,
through
it
those
is
years.
in the budget, but if we don't have the cash to support that, we still can't spend it.
Did you say we had 112,000 in the budget now?
That was in May before we pay these bills. That's May 31. We gotta pay all our bills that are due on June 11th today.
All these other counties, they pay for it.
Well, I think we have in the past, but we haven't been in this kind of shape either.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make a motion that if anybody wants to go, they go when the county pays for it. That's what we've always done, every time I've been there.
Well, I don't see how we're gonna go if we don't have the money to go on. And that shouldn't hinder you from going. I think, anybody can afford to go.
There are a lot of state officials up there, and, if you don't go, that kind of shuts your county out.
They also come to Moorhead too. We've got conferences in Moorhead.
Yeah.
But no state officials come to them, see.
No, all DLG and everybody does.
I make the motion, if anybody wants to go, the county pays for it, if anybody wants to take it, they can.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Nay, on my part.
have you all got your rooms? Has anybody
Yeah, I've
done a
got my
room?
room.
Okay. Who all wants me to register you?
You can register me if you want to.
Denzel,
Register me.
Stanley? You want to register? Anthony, John?
Oh, we gotta go.
I'll get it done in the morning.
This, public, property board, we need to,
That is on the Judicial Center. The state still shows Tim Conley as the president of the Public Properties Corporation that is over the Judicial Center, and Frankie Spencer is the vice president, and we need to make those changes, change the president to current county judge, and then Anthony is the treasurer, I'm the secretary. We also need to add Brandon on as one of the directors. And then we'll need someone, you all decide who you want to be the vice president.
Stanley Reed.
Is that who we want to do?
That's who I'm gonna nominate,
Okay.
Stanley Reed.
You're a second to that nomination? All right,
All right.
all in favor?
Aye.
Stanley, you gonna vote for yourself?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. It's just paperwork is all it amounts to, but it still has to be done.
When do we meet, or do we meet, or?
Will you let us know, because I'll forget. I did already one.
Actually, I don't think we have any meetings now since the center's finished. So but still, you know, we have to report to the state annually, so
If you need anything, call me or send me an email.
I will.
The treasurer also keeps the books on that though, and if you all were to have a meeting, just let him know and he will
I
pay
will.
the finances.
Do we need to make a motion, put them other fellows in as president and all that? Do I'll make that motion.
Yeah. We need it in the minutes.
I'll go with Stanley Franklin be the president.
Who else was?
And Brandon, yeah, whoever, yeah.
Yeah, we need Brandon on as a director.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
I'm gonna vote for myself.
Yeah.
I'll vote for Stanley. I'll vote for myself.
We have some, discussion on the elevator.
We just need to make a correction in the minutes, the March 12th minutes. The elevator services, I think both were voted to be able services. And actually, it was supposed to be an able for the judicial center and DC elevator for the county office building. It's the only difference. We had one for each. Their prices were not the same, so no competition there.
Did we skip on?
No, I mean.
I'll say, I've got him wrote down right before we go into closed session.
Before the closed session.
So Donnie Keaton next.
Do we need a motion or anything on this correction, or just putting it in there?
Just
acknowledge
acknowledge, I think.
Okay, Donnie?
You know, we live on a one-lane road, well, it ain't only a one-lane, part of it's gone up there, but it's a through road to Elliott County, and we've got these people coming down through there, they're applying, we was trying to get a speed limit or something, and I know I talked to Linda about it, and I talked to Jeremy and Jackson, the Department of Transportation. He says the county can do whatever, you know, it's not state regulated. And I talked to Hubert Collins, he says you all can do it. And Ray Jones said not to step on Miles' toes or anything, but he said you could check in on it too and see if we can get something to slow somebody down. I'm constable, but if I try to slow them down or stop them, it's like anything that's not marked is 55 miles an hour. We have a handicap bus running up there and a full-size school bus. And, you know, it's just, I'm not saying do it on all county side roads, just, you know, some that where you know, and we don't have sidewalks, you know, like here in town for people to walk on. People walk up and down the road. So we just, and you know, just let whoever, I'm not gonna say they would be patrolled all the time, but, you know, all it probably costs is running it in the papers, announcing it, so these secondary roads, you know, something, or speed limit signs, you know, even if you put one at the mouth of the holler, one at the top of the holler, see if you can find it in the budget, or do something to slow them down before somebody hits a bus, or
Miles, do we need to, look into that and,
Yeah, that's a new one for me,
Okay.
changing speed limits. You know, I can take a look at it and kind of give you all a report on it later, see what we need to
Okay.
do.
I mean, if it's just, you know, putting signs on either end of the road, that should be no problem. And if we have to publish in the paper, that shouldn't be no problem.
I talked to Transportation in Frankfurt about it, when you called me that day. And I was that, Larry Tincher told me that if we have to be really careful about that, because if we post, we can have different speed limits on county roads, that's not a problem. And we can set those speed limits. But he said if you post on one county road, you have to post every county road, each end, with signs.
Jeremy in Jackson, he lives here in Morgan County also, he says that fiscal court can do anything on any road because you all
Right.
maintain the road.
Right. That's what Larry said too. But he said you have to be careful because you have to post every county road. If you post one, you have to post them all.
And Ray Jones said that he would work with us anyway, you know, he said he had a team there that he could give you any kind of information if y'all want to contact him. And he said if anybody needed anything from Morgan County to try to get a hold of him, you know, that he's willing to try to help y'all and do anything.
But probably some of the roads will need a higher speed limit than others, some a lot lower, you know, we need to see which one are the ones that's safer. Probably wouldn't have to have a lower speed limit as some that are more narrow, you know.
Because I know they mentioned speed bumps and, you know, they said where you grade the roads and stuff like that in the winter time, you know, it'd just be an
It'd
accident.
be hard to do anything with them like that.
You might just slow them down if you just run it in the paper, or, you know, let them know that, you know, that it's, that you don't want it 55 mile an hour or
Yeah.
something, you know, just,
Well,
it'd be easier to do it now before somebody hits a bus, or, you know, because we got loggers coming out of there, and everybody comes from Elliott County. It's a gravel road, and when they hit the blacktop at my house, it's a.
speed, it really speeds up then.
So, you know,
Yeah.
we just need to.
Miles, you look into it and see what we need to do, and we'll follow up on it. And
Okay.
Okay, I guess that we need to go into this closed session now, is that correct? And discuss this litigation that we have.
I make a motion to go back in session again.
Okay,
Second.
all right.
Everything.
Change your agenda.
There's something wrote down here that I wanted to look at. The, Zach. Engel. For those of you that don't know, Zach Engel's our new treasurer, and he's with us tonight, and welcome to our meetings.
Glad to be here.
Okay. I have an executive order here that I want to present. It says, whereas KRS 67711 provides that a county judge may appoint a deputy county judge executive, whereas KRS 67711 states that the fiscal court shall set a reasonable salary for the deputy county judge executive, whereas the Morgan County judge executive has decided to appoint a deputy judge executive, and whereas the Morgan County judge executive will present the appointment of the Morgan County Fiscal Court prior to Morgan County's judge executive first day of work, so that Morgan County can have Morgan County Fiscal Court can set a salary for a deputy judge executive. I'm going to appoint Jody to be our deputy judge executive and to commence work on July 1st and do so without any salary at this time because of the effect of the budget. And that's what I have done to up to this point. Let's see. I guess we need to have our monthly bills presented and approval of them.
Joey, I've got a question on page 2 on the top line, the travel expense, what's that?
Like dinner claims? Oh, she'll address that.
Oh, okay.
This is for Tracy Brown.
That's what that's for, where she was, liaison back and forth between the county and City Hall. What is it now? Expenses, travel expenses,
Who's it for?
Tracy.
We won't get none of that.
You have any bills you want to present this time?
What the other one, vendor claims, everyone has it back.
Any questions about that, Stanley, other than one you found? Okay,
That's all I had.
all right. So I hear a motion that we, pay these vendor claims.
I'm with
Motion been made, second?
Second.
Made by Stanley and second by Brandon. All in favor? Aye.
Better abstain from that.
That's so much to do with the credit claim.
Huh?
Turn it
No,
over.
that's, that one part there.
Okay. All right, anything else to be said at this time?
I've
Yes,
got
Connie.
something I need to bring up
Okay.
to everybody. As y'all know, Ruby Burke has been on sick leave, and we've had 13 people donate sick time to her. And after the payroll was printed this week, someone had brought it to my attention that she's only eligible for 160 hours of that. She is 95.25 hours over that, been given to her. So I need to know how you all want to handle that.
If she gets her check tomorrow.
Yeah, she's anticipating on getting her check, but if we don't give her a check, it's only 23.25.
Did other people donate it to us?
Yeah, it was donated, all that's been donated, and as far as we know, she's coming back on Monday.
We all know that she's been very sick and been, you know, in and out of the hospital.
Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and get her.
Making a motion.
I'll make it.
Make a motion, Stanley, that we're gonna pay her.
By Stephen?
Yeah, and,
Second.
second by Denzel. All in favor? Aye. Opposed likewise. Anything else?
It was 168, but she was allowed.
She was eligible for 160.
I hope she's back on good health again.
That's what's stated in the administrative code.
Well, do I hear a motion that we adjourn? All right, Stanley, second? Second. Second, Brandon, all in favor? All right. Okay, thank you, yes, ma'am.
I was here last month and I made a proposal about having a road that's in my property taken off as a county road. Have y'all decided anything on that?
There hasn't been any decision made on it yet, I don't think, has there? I don't think so. We've talked about it, but we hadn't been a decision made yet, Carol.
Okay. I appreciate
Just-
what work you go into doing.
Don't let us forget it.
Oh, I won't. I thank you all.
Thank you for coming.